Born in Finneytown and raised in Edgewood, Kentucky, Doug Keller is the oldest of 5 boys. His father, Daniel, worked as a geologist for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, while his mother, Marcia, dedicated herself to managing the bustling household and raising their sons. After graduating from Covington Catholic High School, Doug earned a Bachelor of Science in Physics from Northern Kentucky University in 1982. He then pursued further studies at the University of Kentucky, where he received a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering 2 years later. Doug continued his education at the University of Cincinnati, completing a Master of Science in Civil Engineering in 1986. With encouragement from Larry Rayburn, whom he met while working on his PhD at UC, Doug joined Richard Gettle Incorporated, a geotechnical engineering and construction firm, in 1988. As a project manager, design engineer, and estimator, Doug was responsible for bidding and designing projects, managing equipment and labor, and negotiating contracts. This role allowed Doug to connect with everyone, co-workers, clients, suppliers, and even competitors, laying the foundation for the career-long relationships that fueled his success. Doug was named Vice President of Estimating and Engineering, and he quickly rose through the ranks, becoming Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer. In 2004, he was promoted to President and CEO. Under Doug's leadership, the company grew from $30 million in annual sales to an impressive $250 million. Gettle, now employee-owned, has earned a reputation as a respected industry leader in deep foundations, with projects spanning from Texas to Massachusetts and Minnesota to Florida. Doug's satisfaction comes from seeing projects years later and knowing that his team accomplished what many thought impossible. From difficult locations and schedules to challenging conditions, his team consistently delivered.
The satisfaction that we get is looking at something and seeing a building there several years later. Knowing that you did something that maybe somebody else couldn't do. I mean, we've done some tremendous projects here that people, it's like, we never thought you guys would be able to put a foundation in over in that area, or to do this or do that. And at the end of the day, it's like, you look back, it's like, that wasn't that hard.
Doug's industry involvement has always been an essential part of his continued education. He believes that one good idea can make a significant difference for the company. His affiliations include the American Society of Civil Engineers, where he served as a local chapter president, the Kentucky Society of Professional Engineers, the Deep Foundation Institute, the Pile Driver Contractors Association, the International Association of Drilled Shaft Contractors, and the Moles.
Doug thinks big and does big very well. In our industry, we're lucky to have Doug Keller, and we're fortunate to have Gettle as a part of our community. Doug truly has a heart of gold.
Doug has supported several organizations in the Cincinnati area, including the Cincinnati Zoo, the Cincinnati Concours Foundation, which also benefits the juvenile arthritis programs of the Arthritis Foundation, the American Heart Association's Greater Cincinnati Heart Ball, and the SCPA Fur Ball. Additionally, he supports the Point Arc, an organization dedicated to individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Doug and his wife Mary have 3 children and 1 grandchild, Izzy B. In his free time, Doug enjoys modern and classic sports cars, traveling, golf, and playing cards.
This job, it's like you get up every morning, you want to go to work, and you want to see what's new, what happened, what can we look at and change and figure out how to make better. And that's never changed. That hasn't changed since 1988. When I look back, I can't really believe it. And people, it's like, what happened when your real life passed up your dream life, right? And when you go to be an engineer, you hope to have a good job and maybe be able to support your family. I've been able to do way more than that. And it's one of those things, who was it? Steve Jobs said, you can never connect the dots looking forward. You can only do it looking backwards. And if you look back now, it's like, holy cow, how did that ever come together? But it did. And it's been great.
Congratulations, Doug Keller, on winning the Spirit of Construction 2024 Lifetime Achievement Award.